Bonjour à tous, merci d'être présents pour cette nouvelle édition de You4 YouTube. Nous recevons aujourd'hui Hélène Confray qui est de passage à Bruxelles puisque Hélène en fait est en délégation au Paraguay où elle conseille les autorités nationales en matière d'éducation pour la DGDEFCO. Par ailleurs, Hélène est la présidente de l'UCHU, un syndicat qui représente nos collègues hors Union. Elle était à ce titre membre élu du comité central du personnel. Et donc c'est dans le cadre de ces activités militantes que nous la recevons aujourd'hui. Nous l'avions déjà reçue il y a quelques semaines à Bruxelles et elle nous avait promis de revenir nous parler des différentes catégories personnelles, des problèmes spécifiques qui se posent à nos collègues hors Union. Et justement, Hélène, est-ce que tu peux nous dire aujourd'hui un petit peu qu'est-ce que ça veut dire travailler en délégation ?
Okay, thank you very much, Kim, for inviting me here again. Last time I was here, it was a bit warmer climes. Now it's gone cold all of a sudden. So, yes, we can get into a conversation to warm ourselves up. Now, you were asking me about what it's like to live and work in a delegation. Now, obviously, it's quite difficult to answer that question in that we have delegations spread all over the world. We have more than 140 places of work. So I expect that everyone's experience is quite individual depending on where they're based. But having said that, we think there are some challenges which are in fact common to all staff in delegations. One thing that's obvious is that most of us are far from our countries of origin, from our places of interest, far from our friends and families. So obviously there is the issue of isolation, both in terms of objective distance from your place of origin, but also isolation in that you can't just call up your mate and say, let's go and have a coffee together. You're hundreds or thousands of kilometres away. So there is the issue of dealing with that distance in your daily life. On top of that, there are lots of other challenges around insertion in the country. You arrive, you may be a single person, you may be in a partnership, you may or may not have a spouse, you may or you may not have children. And depending on your family composition as well, this means that when you go out to a delegation, it really is quite a challenge at the start to be able to integrate into the country.
Mais justement, est-ce que tu peux nous illustrer, par exemple, pour les familles, les difficultés qu'elles peuvent rencontrer?
Yes,
pour les enfants en particulier.
Yeah, obviously if you have children of school age, one of the major concerns for all our colleagues, the expatriates, it doesn't matter whether you're a temporary agent, a contract agent or an official, is finding a school for your children, and not any school. This has to be a school where the quality is acceptable and where the academic qualifications that they get will be recognised in the EU. So obviously it's identifying and locating the best possible school for your child. Obviously that's a great relief to the colleagues when they manage to do that, but we found that recently, of course, we've had a lot of complaints and comments from colleagues about the education allowance and how their perception is that it's becoming more and more difficult to cover the costs for their mandatory schooling of children of mandatory school age, so primary school and secondary school mainly. But obviously university studies can be covered as well up to a certain age. So one of the major concerns when we arrive is finding an educational establishment for our children of school age. In addition, of course, we have to find a place to live. Some of you know that the delegation countries are categorised according to the difficulty of the country and the security situation. So some of us have accommodation which is actually provided by the institution, and some of us have to find that accommodation ourselves. But whatever option is used, all of these accommodations do have to comply with certain security norms. So obviously a big challenge when we arrive, and we have a lot of assistance, of course, from our colleagues in the administrative section, is in fact to find accommodation. So as soon as you arrive, and on top of that, you have to get to know your job. You're moving to a new country. In some cases, colleagues are changing sector, and there could be challenges around languages as well. So the whole issue of integration in the first 6 months in a delegation is a key issue for our colleagues when they arrive for the first time in a delegation.
Alors, je suis contente que tu nous dises tout ça, d'abord parce que je crois qu'il y a beaucoup de mythes autour du travail en délégation et que c'est bien aussi d'exemplifier pour nos collègues les difficultés qu'on peut rencontrer. Je pense aussi, comme tu le disais, que les 6 premiers mois sont absolument clés pour l'intégration et l'adaptation, notamment des familles, pas seulement des collègues, mais aussi de toute leur famille. Et donc j'imagine que vous avez des discussions avec nos administrations pour offrir un encadrement. Mais évidemment, si on est dans un pays, on va dire, avec un certain degré de confort, c'est peut-être plus facile. Pensons aussi beaucoup à tous nos collègues qui sont dans des pays où vraiment, en termes d'infrastructure, c'est beaucoup plus pauvre en fait.
No, absolutely. We work in a very wide range of countries. Some of you may be aware of the Living Conditions Allowance, which is a mechanism by which we try and compensate for the differences between working outside the EU and working within the EU. And we try and measure, if you like, a range of parameters which go from security to environment to isolation to health situation. So the idea is to try and address those imbalances with a compensation which is a percentage of part of your basic salary. But even when we have that compensation, it doesn't mean that colleagues will find it more or less difficult to integrate on the ground. And the tendency that we're seeing over time is that colleagues and delegations themselves are moving into more difficult categories. So where in the past we might have had more of a bulk of delegations in the easier countries and that they had lower percentage living condition allowances, we've seen in the last few years that there is a tendency now for us to be working in increasingly more difficult countries. That's fairly obvious to many of us. Obviously, there are lots of countries in situations of conflict, fragile states. Those are the countries where external action for development cooperation, of course, is very much needed. So more and more, it's likely that our colleagues will, in fact, be applying either via a rotation or through a compulsory mobility for contract agents for posts in countries which are difficult to even very difficult. And there again, there are a host of challenges that our colleagues have to face. And what we try to do as a trade union is to be there for them when they have questions about insertion. They may have questions, again, as we mentioned, about education allowance. They may have questions about housing. We're there for our colleagues when they arrive at a delegation to try and give them that additional assistance that they might need. But obviously the first port of call is the delegations themselves, and normally the administrative sections are those who really will facilitate them and help them when they arrive in the delegation country.
Hélène, merci de tout ce que tu fais en fait pour faciliter la vie de nos collègues. La dernière fois que nous t'avions invité, tu nous avais dit que vous reviendriez aussi nous parler des différentes catégories de personnel que nous avons dans les délégations. Et donc je te propose de nous revoir bientôt pour parler de la situation un peu spécifique des agents contractuels et des discussions en cours dans le dialogue social les concernant.
Yeah, I mean, as you say there, we have different categories of personnel, and what we try and do within USHU is use the comparative advantage and the knowledge that each of our colleagues have. So we have a network of people who are working for the trade union, and on those specific topics, what I would like to do is ask those colleagues to come and present those cases. For example, some of you may know that at the moment there is the issue of the working conditions for local agents in delegations. We have colleagues working very, very hard on that, and I would very much invite one of the founding members of USHU, Mr. Dimitri Stankovic, who's based at the EU delegation to Serbia, in a next conversation with you to tell us all about what's happening at the moment, what's on offer for local agents, and what are the implications for all our local agent colleagues in delegations all over the world.
Eh bien, nous nous ferons un plaisir de le recevoir dès qu'il sera à Bruxelles. Merci à vous, à la prochaine fois. Merci Hélène.
Thank you.